For that, here's Keith Andrews and Gary Breen on Virgil van Dijk. You can watch the Keith Andrews show on YouTube or get it wherever you get your pods. It's live every week across Off the Ball. Have a look.
It's basically, Mbappe gets the ball on the halfway line and he's driving into space. It's 1v1 basically in the whole half of the pitch. Van Dijk ambles across as calm as you would like and just dictates exactly where Mbappe is going to go with the ball, the time. And if anyone hasn't seen it, please watch it, because we're going to chat a little bit about Spurs and Liverpool, but he, for me, is the absolute key, Van Dijk.
Oh, without a doubt. Listen, when you said that, I would have been more surprised. I know, like, Mbappe is lightning, but Van Dijk is a Rolls Royce of a centre-half, and I kept saying it all the time when Liverpool fans were saying, well, we haven't got a centre-half in. Jamie Redknapp was coming out and saying, well, why didn't you get someone like Sanchez from Ajax to fill the gap? And I was thinking, because he don't fit the way Liverpool play. He doesn't want to be in space. He's better in a back three at Spurs. That's why he's done well. Van Dijk and the way they play, he can be pulled out into fullback positions. It doesn't matter. He can cope. He can deal with the likes of Andy Carroll as a big, robust centre forward. He can deal with little guys like you just said there. He gives a calming authority. Massive difference to Liverpool. He's been the headline act, of course he is, but it's been a collective effort. Young Gomez is going to learn so much there. As a young centre-half, when you're playing with someone of that quality, your game goes on to a completely different level, and I expect his to do. And I think that Liverpool fans, as much as Jurgen Klopp wants to play it down and have a little bit of a smokescreen in terms of we're not quite there, they are there. They are the main challengers. They've got a fantastic team.
Yeah, the Van Dijk thing, there is footage going around of a tackle that Van Dijk made on Kylian Mbappe. It must have been in the international break in the Nations Cup. Not bad. Not a bad tackle.
A great tackle.
It's like...
don't need to get off the ground.
Something you'd see Bobby Moore doing.
Yeah, but when I first heard it, someone said, Van Dijk, he's as quick as Mbappe. There's a clip from the game you're referencing. You can see he matches him for pace, but actually he doesn't. He's
looking at the ball.
He's looking at the ball, but he gives himself a 3-yard start on Mbappe. You can see his body angle is right. He's actually ushering him down the line. Once he comes into contact with him, the right arm, the forearm comes across just to slow him down a little bit more, and then obviously makes the tackle. So in terms from a technical point of view, it's exactly what you want to see from the defender in terms of body shape, slowing a person down, making contact, and actually then blocking the shot. But what I'd say about Van Dijk, I'm a huge fan of Van Dijk, similar to what Brainy said there. I think the only thing he's got to be careful of is just almost that casualness in terms. I know how good I am. I know how good I'm playing. Yeah, I'm the best in the world. You better believe I'm the best. And a little bit of that casualness creeping into his play. I've seen it a couple of times this season. Just that little bit, just the way he carries himself in the pit, as opposed to that real 100% focus for every minute of the game. And it's not even a criticism, it's the only thing I'd say, because his partnership with Gomez, for me, the only early concern I had before this season was his centre-half, because I felt if Lovren was going to play a whole season with Van Dijk, at some point during the season, Lovren was going to cost him. Individual mistakes were going to cost Liverpool, and possibly in the bigger games. So Gomez coming in, which is something I've been looking for the last year, I haven't seen it, coming in alongside Van Dijk and how well they've played together as a partnership, for me, that's made me mind. That's the final piece of the jigsaw for me in terms of Liverpool challenging now for
it's a key point, because in the majority of games they don't have to defend much at all, so it is concentration as well, that you just got to be ready, and not kind of stroll through games and expect that no, this is going to be fine because I'm Virgil van Dijk, because in most of Liverpool games they're just looking up the pitch they might have the ball, but they're not doing a lot of defending, and most of their games they're going to coast this year.
No, they will.
They're just very good.
But there's just nothing. There's just no weakness there. And that was the only area for me, that central defensive
don't want them to
position.
get injured. They don't want them to get injured.
But even then, you look at the strength of the squad. I don't even see it in terms of the squad strength now.
I don't trust Lovren at all now. I don't trust.
But that's what I'm saying.
Dijk, you don't want Van Dijk to get injured if you're a Liverpool fan.
No, absolutely. But I think the point that Gary Breen was making at the end there, even Lovren will look good alongside him because he's that good.
He's a Rolls Royce.
That thing about concentration, very few centre backs have a long period of their career where they're absolutely always at it. So you think Cannavaro and his absolute peak, there's probably... So he's always really good, but then there's this peak where he's World Footballer of the Year territory. That's like a 2-year sustained period. So this is Van Dijk's peak now, and he needs to make it count.
Yeah, but I think he's always had that. Even at Celtic, I saw that, just that kind of body language and how he's kind of carrying himself. That little bit of casualness can cost you at times. I think it's the only thing he's got to guard against. He's an absolutely world-class top class.
He's 27.
27 years of age, in his absolute prime. You're absolutely
You
right.
remember Cannavaro in those days when, you know, in the Euros and the World Cup and all that, like, he made defending sexy, like just watching how good he was to defend. And in the game is now all about like pressing and like, you know,
passing.
first touch and like the amazing stuff we see that now we see every day of the week. But defending is still, like, you can watch a 0-0 and come away mesmerised. Like, and I can anyway, or I certainly can. And like that little clip from Van Dijk, like I love watching that stuff.
But I loved it. But you sense with Van Dijk, because he's such an all-rounded player, he's so comfortable on the ball. He's a ball playing. He could be midfielder. His distribution's that good. The number of those 30-40 yard diagonal, he constantly fizzes across the pitch. It looks like Cannavaro was an out-and-out defender. He loved his defending, touch tight,
Nesta
tackle.
pass, I can't remember. Was Nesta a
interception.
ball player?
I don't remember
not
him passing the ball very much.
No, not particularly. The kind of Ayala, I think, who played for Valencia, Argentina, similar time, all about the defending. They got the
Godin
ball,
as well, like the Uruguayan lads.
get the ball, they keep it simple. Van Dijk's different. Van Dijk's like, give me the ball, I'll show you how good a ball player I am. And occasionally you think, I'll defend. Okay, I'll defend if I have to, but I'm not even defending really to get the ball to show you how good I am.
I remember Liverpool start with like one of the best like ballers they have as their goalkeeper. Like, so, you know, that's where you're at with Liverpool, or at least you'd like to.
Yeah, he definitely thinks he is.